rhythm and the groove. Move, move. Alright, I make me tell you listen. Move, move. We a dance to the rhythm and the groove. Move, move. Watch them as they bang through them a move. So we chop it, so we do it. This a rhythm that lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Lock down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. So we do it. This a rhythm that lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Lock down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of go play back again. And everyone say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune.
We're going to go. Okay, check, 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 test, test, test. Can you hear me now, everybody? Check, check, audio. Does it work? I love how, right when I get on, I have to do an update. That makes it very interesting. What's going on, folks? Hopefully you're all right, and hopefully you can hear me. Let me know before we start. I'm going to do a 5x5 check, and then we're going to have some fun today. You guys are going to love this. We've got something really cool going on. Pop said 5x5. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I've got to say that. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We've got Thanksgiving on the way next week. We'll be doing a little Thanksgiving special on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, I think. All right, so that's good. And everybody's checking in here. This is Chicago Skyhawks in the house. How are you? Obviously, Pops is checking in. Christopher, what's going on, my friend? We got Nightbot as well. SS Aviation, what's going on? Love that casual outfit. Now, this, I don't know if you could see this. This is our Coastal Hockey Charter shirt, and on the back is the entire schedule that we're flying on the stream. So if you guys want to check it out, it's actually on the shop right now. Let's see if this thing works. If you go right there, go to www.coastalairwaysshop.com and you can check it out. Good stuff. Christopher says we got you 5x5. And then SS Aviation says Happy Thanksgiving. So if you're wondering what we're doing today, we're actually going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to show you a part of Flight Sim that I really was just exposed to probably early. I knew it was about it. I knew about the type of flying we're going to do, but I just didn't really know how deep it went. And so it's deep and it's fun. My gosh, I spent the entire week this week doing a tailwheel endorsement. So it's a whole different ball game than a regular tricycle gear, which you have yet nose gear. We're going to be flying a tail dragger today, old school 19. Well, the technology is new. We got a newer airplane, but we're doing some old school looks. So we're in McCall, Idaho. We're just got our nice cup of joe, whatever you want to call that. We're going to be kind of panning. There's our aircraft. It's going to be an X Cub, and it's beautiful. It's a carbon Cub on Tundra tires with a cargo pod, because I'm going to take you guys the backcountry, and we're going camping today. So it's going to be fun. The sun's just coming out. It's early in the day. You could kind of see this is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful weather we have out here. Let's go ahead and check our aircraft out. It's a little on the slow side, just this panning. So let's just, without any further ado, let's just jump right into this thing. This is the X Cub. It's beautiful. Okay, we're going to have this tail wheel, nice carbon fiber. The actual, I think most of the frame is carbon fiber. You have fabric covering. So this is just like a Piper Cub. Okay, so we have a fabric covering. This airplane is beautiful. It's on Alaskan Tundra tires. They're 39-inch, and the engine is souped up in this puppy. This engine is, I'm flying a mod. By the way, if you guys want to fly with me, you're welcome to come on right now. So get your butts here into McCall in the chat if you want to fly. Say, hey, I'm coming, and let's do that. I'll wait for you. I think there's a couple of folks that wanted to fly as well, so join me is what I'm saying. We'll have a great time coming in. I think John wanted to fly, but I'm actually going to be in the FSBN Discord channel right now. So I'm under the live broadcast, under the member chat. I could probably throw myself in the community. It's hard when I do this to do that stuff. But John, if you're watching, I don't know if you want to fly, come on in the chat and say, hey, yeah, I'm flying. So if anybody wants to join me, now's the time to do it. I'm going to take you guys somewhere really fun. We're going to have a blast today in this Carbon Cub. Like I said, this thing is a souped up engine. I installed a mod on this. This is not default. So it's modified, right? So we've got a modified Tundra tires on it. It's Alaskan 29-inch or 39-inch Bush tires. We've got the cargo pod underneath, so we can carry a lot more weight. And the engine's souped up. It's a Lycoming 3i3 215 horsepower engine on a constant speed prop. So this thing is awesome. All right, this airplane is fun to fly. Let's go ahead and jump in the flight deck. I'm going to jump in the I can call it a flight deck. It's a cockpit. So let's jump in the cockpit here, and we're going to have some fun. I don't know if any of you have done this type of flying, but it is a blast, man. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. I'm taking you somewhere not a lot of planes could fly into, and not a lot of people go. So how's that? And we're going to do a camp out today. So I'm going to show you that little deal as well. We'll set up our camp, we'll fly and stuff like that. Let's go in and get our weight and balance all set and ready to go. So first thing we want to do is take the payload here. We've got the left aux. That's the cargo pod. So we could put fuel in the cargo pod, or we could put weight in the cargo pod. So I'm just going to actually put 0 now. And then we're going to actually load pilot and passenger. So we'll say 140 in the back. We get 200 here, and then we're going to put 0 on the pod. We don't need anything. And then the baggage, we're going to put 100. So I did the math, obviously, before we even took off here. I did weight and balance and said, all right, how much weight are we actually taking on this airplane? So of course I took the liberty to weigh everything out. So the tent is 9 pounds. That's going to be a winterized tent because it's pretty cold here in the mountains now. We got 2 sleeping bags. It's 4 pounds each. I mean, it's 2 pounds total, 4 pounds each. 4 pounds total on that. We have 2 camp chairs. That's 7 pounds each. That gives us 14 pounds, right? We have a stove. That's about coming in at about 11 pounds. And then we have an axe, which is 2 pounds. And it's a total of 40 pounds weight. Plus we have about 60 pounds of other toiletries, clothing, that kind of stuff. So it's about 100 pounds on the cargo. So I just didn't pull it out of my hat. I actually did the numbers. So that's pretty cool. But where's the HUD in the magenta line? You guys are not going to see a HUD today. I hate to tell you. This is what flying's about, is what I'm going to tell you. This is what it's about, folks. This type of flying that we're going to do, it's pretty darn awesome, and it's what it's built for. We're going to bring us up to 2,000 pounds total weight and stuff on this aircraft. So we're about 300 pounds under gross, which is great. We're going to fill up the tanks. We're not going to go all the way, but we're going to do 90 because I flew us all and we have great scenery, by the way. So you want to fly, you need to load up the aircraft. Come here with me if you want to fly. There it goes. Hey, Joe, what's up? He says, hello, what's going on? Scott, is there anybody that's going to fly or no? You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm really going to take you in some really, really cool stuff. All right, let's do the checklist. If there's anybody going to join me, I'll just kind of fly out and show you. We are on VATSIM, so fire up on VATSIM. I'm going to show you the route of flight today. We're VFR. It's absolutely beautiful here. It is gorgeous. I was hoping the weather would work for us because it was a storm came in yesterday, kind of blew some rain and stuff into the area. Let me kind of pull those charts up for you. Again, this is going to be what we're doing. We're taking off out of McCall. We're probably going to be taking off to the south. I got to look at the weather here yet. We're going to probably depart out of the south. We got to climb altitude. All right, we're going to be into some serious mountain flying. Okay, you're going to see some maneuvers that you're going to go, holy cow, an airplane could do this? And the answer is yes, and we're going to do it. All right, so we're 11.6, 11.5. We don't have supplemental oxygen, so we're going to have to stay about 9,000 feet or so. This Cup can do it, but we're going to have to play the odds here. We're going to fly all the way up through this ravine. We'll climb to about 9,000. We'll see how it looks on terrain. Maybe we can get a direct over. We'll see. We're going to fly basically this river up to this reservoir, and then we might have to snake our way up to the Salmon River. Now, this is the Salmon River, and then we're going to fly the Salmon River all the way to a little airport called Wilson Bar, and it's right here where basically we cannot land on runway 24. This is 24 coming in this way. This is runway 6 coming in this way. We have to turn around and go to runway 24, and the reason for that is there is terrain and a bunch of trees that sit 90 to 100 feet right off the end of the runway. It's one way in, one way out, and that is it. Okay, so we're committed. Once we, there is no go around here because you might lose it. All right, it might kill you. So if you're going to say go around, you're going to have to do it quick and early. Once you're on the approach and on final, we're committed to the landing. So we're going to have to come in here. We'll lose a ton of altitude and energy. We'll kind of fly up the salmon a little bit, do a Chandelle maneuver. About right in here is a great place to do it. So we'll kind of use these mountain and use this terrain to our advantage. We're going to fly a very aggressive Chandelle. We're going to do basically a 180. You can't just turn the aircraft. You'll kill yourself. So you have to do an evasive maneuver. And I think you guys are going to really like this kind of flying. This is called mountain flying at its finest. And it depends on the winds and all that stuff. So because it could push you into the mountains, so we've got to really kind of get our wits about us on, okay, where's the weather? Where are the winds? What the winds are going to do for us? And there we go. Now, I'm disclaimer here. I just got my tail wheel endorsement this week. All right, we're looking at 040 at 3 knots. Perfect. We're actually going to take off to the north and not the south. So that's great. We've got 10 miles, clear skies. It's absolutely beautiful. We couldn't ask for a better day. All right, we've got 1 degree on the temperature. So without any further ado, we're going to do this. Josh said would, but I'm flying into MSP in the 737. Well, that's fine. You can hang out and watch us then. All right, let's do this. Let's do a pre-flight. We've already kind of walked around. We would have walked around the airplane, done our whole thing, and we're going to get this thing going. Now remember, this is a mod, so we're going to just do this. Let's check our fuel status and all that good stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and look. Our fuel tanks are up here, about 100%. That's good. ELT is on. Same with there. I love this airplane. This airplane is a ton of fun, folks. All right, checklist time. We're going to start the engine master switch coming on. We're going to go ahead and throw the master on right there. There we go. I'm just going to actually check the barometric. And you can see we've got alt field, oil pressure, and autopilot trim disconnect. That is fine. That should be all good to go. Brakes are on. Master cylinders are right there, and the brakes are on. Okay, then we've got, coming over here, ignition switch. We got fuel selector fullest tank, and that's going to be set to, let's go on the left side. We'll fly for about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. 5 gallons is the max we could do. So we could go from 23 to 20, and then we'll switch tanks, all right? So we're going to go left side now, right side on the next time. It's only about, like I said, it's about 35, 40-minute flight over there. Okay, avionics switch is off. That it is. It would be right here. That's the switch. So we're good to go. Again, this is a little mod, so this is different. Master switch is on. We got that. Ignition switches, we're going to go ahead both on. We don't. This is a mod, so we don't have to worry about that. Prop forward, high RPM, which is this blue gauge, and that is not going to work for me. Okay, stand by just a minute. That is not right, and that's going to be our controls here at spad.next. Something is up with my flight controls. Give me a second. Let's find out what is going on with this and why the prop is doing what it's doing. It shouldn't do that. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Propeller pitch. Then why is the engine... Okay, so this is engine 1 without reverse. That is correct. That should not happen. What are you doing, thing? All right, let me go back out of here just a minute. Okay, that shouldn't work either. Okay, that's why. So I'm going to go like this. Control options. It's because we have a conflict. So you got to make sure that, but again, this is blanked out. So what are you doing, dude? Rudder control. Definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Carbon cup. There we go. Yoke. I want the carbon cup. There we go. All right. So I've got everything set except for the stupid access, and it should blank it out. Like there should be no if, ands, or buts that is not going to be working. Yeah, there we go. Ah, shoot. Okay, I'm going to have to isolate that control again. So let's go over here, look at the sensitivity, and let's take a peek to see what is going on. Okay, it's right here. This joystick right there, the R axis, I don't want it to actually work. I don't want it to work. So I want to like bypass this. This is dumb. Like it shouldn't do anything. I have it 0 and blank for a reason. There should be nothing there. Let's see all. And let's go over to power management. And let's do propeller. Nothing is even on there as an access. Like, what are you doing? Mixtures, nothing there. So I don't know why it's conflicting, but it is. Anybody understand how to do this? Because I thought I had it done. I thought it was licked. I don't want the access to even work. And you could see I don't even have anything assigned to it. It's like, that's the dumbest thing in the world, folks. All right, let's try to do this one more time. I'll try to save this. Apply and save. Let's go ahead and check this now. I'm going to open my SPAD and hopefully we can get it to work. Is Cliff hiding in the plane? No, I find Cliff is not. He's not even on this flight. And I'm burning my my battery here, so give me a second. Let's go over to here. Just make sure I have the right one selected. I do have the carbon cub. That's good. That is not going to work. Folks, do you know how to do this? Let me shut the master off. That should not be. I should not have an access that's working right now, because that's going to really screw us up. So I should go into all or essentials, flight control surfaces, primary controls. It's all zeroed out. I don't understand this stupid thing. And you could see right here, I don't want this to work. How about 0? No, that doesn't work. 0, 0, 0. I'm just going to try to do this to see if we can't knock this thing. I don't want it to work. Like, that shouldn't work. There is no access to this. Ugh, so annoying. That is annoying because I purposely got rid of all the controls for that reason. Anybody have an idea on why it's doing what it's doing? Oh my gosh, dude. What I could do is on SPAD, I can change the throttle up. There's 2 ways to skin a cat, right? Give me a second. Let's pull this thing up and let's see what we got going on. So this is our prop. I can change that to, all right, that's good. That's good. That is not good. What? Freaking so annoying. That is annoying. I'm sorry. I've programmed this for a reason. That's programmed to throttle. Don't want to even use that. What about this one? Is this going to conflict? No. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my speed brake out. So engine 1 is right here. Right there. There's my engine 1. So this is what's so cool about SPAD. I can just control copy that. We're going to dump it on the speed brake. Okay. And then we're going to go back to engine 1 and I'm going to delete it. All right, I'm going to delete the event. Now, if I could pull the engine 1, that's good. I'm going to go and swap this. Pull that, put that here. And now you can see how engine 1, it doesn't have anything assigned to it because we're going to go ahead and throw the propeller pitch. We're going to control copy that, and we're going to put it on engine 1 here. So I'm just making a quick adjustment. And now we've got a good airplane. Okay, so that's I don't know why it did that. Didn't do that yesterday, but we're back in business. Yeah, somebody's trying to sabotage me, I think. I don't know what it is. All right, let's throw this back on. Let's get going. Sorry for that little delay, but we're going to go ahead. Okay, prop is forward max. There we go. We've got prime the engine. We're going to do mixture full rich. Okay, I'm going to push the throttle to a half. And I'll see if I can see this. Can you guys see? Probably not really good. How's that? Is that better or worse? That's better. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know if that's bad. I'm trying to adjust it for you so you can see the throttles. Okay. We're gonna get good at that. Primed it. We're gonna go ahead and fuel pump on. We're gonna watch the fuel flow right here. It's 2.9 gallons. We're good. We'll hold that for a couple of seconds. And that's full power there. You can see, and then we're gonna go half throttle. Shut the fuel pump off. Good deal. Throttle half inch. We've got it. Clear prop. So we're gonna go clear prop. We'll throw the nav on. And then we'll yell clear prop out the window. Clear prop! All right, here we go. Let's fire it up. Okay, got a good light. Want to make sure you're going to start getting stuff in the green. Oil pressure's in the green, 6.3. We're going to hold about 1,000 RPM on this. Manifold pressure's all the way in. And of course, I'm actually going to lean this out just a little bit. All right, now we're going to kind of throw on our alternator. We're going to throw on our standby. And then we're going to throw on our avionics. We'll keep the strobes off for now. Spotlight we don't need, and fuel pump we don't need. Okay, we've got a good light. Outside air temperature is 1 degrees. It's good stuff. Okay, we got a 3 knot. Again, we already checked all that. Everything is good. We are ready to go. We're going to warm this up. Just going to hold out and warm it up for a minute. And everything else is good. All right. You folks ready for this? By the way, do me a favor. If you're brand new to the channel, like and subscribe. We don't usually do this kind of flying, so this is really going to be a lot of fun for us, I think. Something completely different, but something really cool. I think you guys are really going to like this. I'm super excited to do this. This is a ton of fun, and the flying is incredible. Okay, we are in McCall, Idaho, and that is going to be... Just trying to look right now. McCall is an uncontrolled field, folks. So CTAF frequency 119.25, and we're actually just going to use our comms here. So transponder, we're going to throw it to the on, press enter, and then we're going to go to the audio panel, COM 1, and I'm going to look at the radios. You can see we're on COM 1, mic 1, nav 1, and nav 2. We have the speaker right there if we wanted to. And then our comms are going to be right here. And we're going to go ahead and click comm radio right now, 122.8 as should be. Let's see if I can get it to work. Audio panel. Hello. Gotta... That's the one thing that I didn't check out. Where's one of the dang comms? Oh, there we go. 122.8. Okay, we'll hit enter. And that is our CTAF frequency. So it's common traffic advisory frequency. We're good. Are you guys ready? We're going to go ahead and taxi. And what we're going to do is, this is actually the home base to the U.S. Fire Service, or excuse me, U.S. Forestry Service. Their fire division is out here. So that's kind of where we're going. We're going to U.S. Fire Service base. And we are going to rock and roll here. Taxi route. Going to take us again. We are right in the middle of here. We're taxi down this strip, kind of there, and then we're going to go ahead and back taxi all the way down. Probably go midfield or something like that. I'll show you a little short field, normal stuff. We'll take 3-4 out here, 040. So yeah, I don't really think it matters if we go. We're very close to 16, but you know everybody would probably be landing 3-4. Northbound. Got it. That's what we'll do. You guys ready to rock? What? Saying let's rock and roll. All right, let's put our belt on. We're going to need our seatbelt, right? Chutes on. Here we go. I got to put my chutes on. Oh, come on. That's what happens when you don't fly the thing. And you know, I haven't flown like a transport category airplane for, you know, at least a week. We're starting, by the way, we're starting hockey charters again on Sunday. Okay, brakes off. Here we go. I've got the winds. You got to know where the winds are with this aircraft. We're going to get warmed up. You could see the oil temperature still on the low side. Winds are coming in from the north at 3 knots, so I'm just going to kind of go ahead. Now, one thing that you can notice on taxi, you can't see anything. I'm going to try to bring it down to about 700, and you can't see over the nose very well. Even if I kind of peek up, you can't see. So how you taxi a tail dragger like this is you're going to have to do some S-turns. The center line in a tail dragger, it doesn't really happen much. So that's kind of where we're at with this. Kind of look out the side of the window. Okay, I'm going to bring up the throttle to about 900. Now, is it loud enough for you on your side? Because it seems pretty darn quiet on my side. All right, I'm going to adjust the winds. So I'm going to go stick that way, and then you're supposed to taxi with the stick in your lap pretty much. You see how the elevator's up like that? That's kind of how you want to taxi these things. They're free castering wheels. So rudder control and braking controls a tail dragger. Gonna throttle it down just a little bit. There we go. Shoot, I gotta call him up. I'll call traffic 904, 945, taxi runway 3 for him a call. Okay, you can see we're not at that turn just yet. We're coming. Over here, I'll throttle it down just a little bit. Okay, still got that wind correction going on as we turn downwind. Okay, we're going to neutralize, give a little throttle. Oh, shoot. Did I just break my screen? That wouldn't have been good. No, I didn't. Okay, let's bring it up. Sweet looking airplane though, isn't it? Hello, that should be on. There we go, 122.8. Go ahead and cancel that. Now, one thing we could do, which I need to do, is set my GPS. And you don't have to, but it's gonna help us. We'll kind of taxi down to our departure point, and then we'll go ahead and set it up. Get the brakes set, and then we'll rock and roll. Looks like pretty much right behind us on the winds now, so that's good. I see the line. We'll get back on center line. I mean, just taxiing this aircraft alone, any tail dragger like this with that nose way high is a challenge. So we're going to get on the runway. Now, this aircraft can pretty much take off anywhere, but we'll play it right. We'll go down to our runway that we need to. We'll just we'll go on the next departure. How's that? It was Alpha 3. Again, I'm just kind of looking at the yellow line through the windshield, looking to see where we're going. There we go. We'll go ahead and back it up. Is it loud enough for you folks? So can you hear the engine okay, or is it a little soft? Okay, I'm going to start throttling back here as we're getting close. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, now you can't just jam on the brakes here. This would be a bad idea. So what you're going to do is throw that stick back in your lap. See how it's all the way aft? And then we're going to start applying brake. But I'm going to do that right when I get to the turnoff here. This is where we're going to take our runway. About 1,000 feet. That's fine. Okay. So stick in your lap. We're going to start our turn. And then we're going to hit the brakes. And we're going to rotate that aircraft. Rotate it, rotate it, rotate it. Stop the airplane. See how that sticks in the back? Good. We're going to go ahead and set the brakes. Okay, brakes are set. And that's just that little alert gives us, you don't hear the engines, huh? All right, let me see something. Is that better? Can you guys hear? Let me know if that's better. I'm certain it probably will be. All right, let's go ahead and just get in here really quick and program this. And I'm going to do this right here. So we're just going to go to flight plan. Just kind of scroll down. And then we're going to go Kilo MYL, which is McCall. And then we're going to click enter. And then where we're going to go is we can go, we can enter a waypoint. It's probably easier to do that. We'll add a destination. We're going to go Charlie 48. That's the airport we're flying to. Charlie 48. Nope. 488. Enter. And you can see, where's our waypoint? You know, it won't give us a waypoint right now. So we have to actually, you could put Charlie 48 as a waypoint, or you could put, you know, that's where we're going to head to. So that's the airport we're going to. We could say our first waypoint is going to be somewhere over here. I'll just put this airport ID 28. So add an en route waypoint. We'll just go Idaho, which is ID 28. There we go. Enter. Okay, now we see what we've got going on. It's pretty much the same spot. All right. That's good to go there. That just helps us kind of with the situational awareness. That really helps. I'm going to click the airplane logo. It gets us back to where we need to be. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring up the engines, and we're going to do a little bit of a run-up. So let's go ahead and bring it up. Hopefully you can hear better. I think I can hear the engines better. Can you hear it? We're going to bring up that throttle to about 1700 RPM or so. It's about 18. We're not going to be able to do any magnetos because this is a modded aircraft. So they took the mags out. I'm just going to start leaning it back. There's 1970 just because we're sitting about 5,000 feet above sea level. There's 1980 or 1990. You can see I'm pulling back. You want to lean this out. There's 2,000. You're trying to get optimal performance on this engine, and the only way we can do that is start leaning back the fuel. You can see I'm pulling the fuel back just incrementally. We're at 2010 right now on the RPM. There's 20. So I know it says go full rich. That's not optimum here. This is not sea level. Okay, and then we're going to throw some fuel back in. 2020 is going to give us a good, probably it's perfect. I'm going to come back on the throttle now just a little bit. Trim flaps. Let's go ahead and set our flap, folks. Coming down here, flap set 1, which is 1 notch. The flaps are up here on this aircraft. Okay, 030, 030. We're ready to go. You guys ready? All right, before takeoff, brakes, throttle, ignition. We've done all that. Alt-air. That's one thing I didn't do. Dang it. All right, let's bring it up just a little bit right there. Just watch the RPM. Pull that. You see a big significant drop. No, a little bit, but not too much. That's just all your alternate air. Okay, oil pressure is good, temperature is good, and your fuel pressure is good. All right, looks like we've got a good aircraft so far. Trim, flaps, controls, strobes, transponders on, landing lights, we'll throw them on. Ignition, we're good, and we are going to take off. We're going to accelerate down the runway. We'll probably take off at about 45. We'll hold about 64, 70 knots on the climb out. We'll try to hold about 2,600 RPM. Strobes are on, landing lights on. Let's go. Let's call them up. Dang. Do you guys still not hear the engines? Do you guys hear the engine or not? Can you hear the engines? Verify. Call traffic. 94945, taking runway 34. Those of you who are in the chat, let's go. Brakes off. Belts on. Let's do this thing. Clear. Whoa. Okay, I gotta have two. Whoa, I've gotta have two hands to operate this airplane. We're gonna taxi on the runway and stop. And I'm just gonna do this because I gotta set my, I gotta get my shoulder harnesses on. You're definitely gonna want parachutes on this one. It's a little better, still not much. All right, let's do this. Ready to go? Here we go. Stick full back. You're going to bring up the RPM to about 2,700, about 2,600, right around there. Let the airplane accelerate. Okay, you're going to release some of that back pressure. Let the nose drop on you just a little bit. There's a stall warning horn. Okay, looking good. About 40 knots. We'll start taking off. There we go. That's an overspeed on the prop. We'll just bring the prop down. That's just a stall warning you're hearing. All right, we're clear of the obstacles. We'll get some airspeed back. Make sure we can get down that runway here. Flaps up. Now let's go ahead and climb out. Okay, what we're going to do is fly pretty much straight out over the lake here. Nice, huh? Okay, we're going to fly over this lake. And this lake is straight ahead. You can see it over the cowling. And we're going to fly, you're going to point your nose right to that ravine area. That, I wouldn't say ravine, but it's called, I got to throw the prop down here. Let's hold 2,600 RPM so we don't overspeed the prop. And now we're going to start our climb. And we're going to do about, heading right for that mountain pass, if you will. And we're going to still try to climb about 65. That's perfect. Looks good so far. Everything's good to go. Airplane's working. Might be a little bit bumpy. And this is called, this is the, can't get a name of this, but this is the nice reservoir. We're going to fly straight through it. It's beautiful. All right, here we go. We are airborne. This does have actually an autopilot. So what I like to do is just throw the heading selector on, because we might just have to hold a heading and then we'll throw the autopilot on and just see how it's going to work for us. This is probably a good heading to fly. We can take a look over the nose. Looks good. Again, we're going to fly right up this ring. We've got to gain altitude. This airplane, it's very powerful for its, I mean, it's got a 213 horsepower engine. That's a lot for this bird. It's a lot of plane, which is good, but it doesn't have that, you know, massive climb performance that you're going to see. And I want to kind of hold about 70, maybe we can hold about 70, 75, right around there. Get that oil temperature looking good. 3 degrees on the outside air temp. I'm going to go ahead and throw off the landing light now. And everything else is good. All right. Oh, let's get in going the autopilot. Let's see if the autopilot works, folks. Let's try, right? I mean, we can only try, right? Okay, I want to hold a vertical speed. So it's just actually going to hold that. Let's go VS. No, that's going to hold about 300 feet a minute. Let's try that. Let's see what that gives us. We're about 73. All right, folks, settling in for the ride here. Pretty. You see what I mean about, well, now we've got terrain. And terrain's coming at us. So what we'll want to do is we're going to stay right in between this. Again, the winds are becoming, we need to know where the winds are, pretty light, 340. And that's another thing we can do. Let's go ahead and just do this menu. I think I was messing with this yesterday. I found it. Go to menu. Oh, where were you? Setup, was it? Displays? No, it wasn't that. No, it was main menu. Something like that. I don't know. All right, there we go. Right up through the gut here. There's got to be... That's direct to. We don't want that. It's in the menu somewhere. Where were you? Displays, setup, display. Maybe it was in the map. It wasn't procedures. It wasn't any of that either. Oh, bummer. I got to find out where it was. All right, let's take a look outside so we don't run into the mountain. What do you say? Okay, looking good. I'm just going to turn my heading. It's a couple degrees. We're doing about 60 knots. That's probably a little too on the low side. So I'm just going to start just pitching down just a little bit, get some airspeed back. And now, folks, you just really enjoy. You can't really enjoy. I mean, you guys can, but I can't. I'm pretty busy trying to avoid terrain right now. Fuel's looking good. We don't need to just switch it just yet. I'm going to try to peek over the nose, kind of see where that river is. You see that kind of river straight ahead? That's where we want the nose pointed, straight at it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just back it up. Can pull it down, and that's what's so nice about this. This is a GX, I believe this is a G3X or something like that on the GPS. Barely climbing. I mean, we're barely climbing right now. On the climb, we're going to want to hold about, again, 2,600 RPM, and we're going to lean on that. We already did. We've already leaned this thing out to ridge. I can just start pulling back just a little bit. Let's see if that gave us... Nope, yep. So I'm just going to just lean it a little bit, not too much. There we go. Okay, we've got 31 miles to go, about 21 minutes, so this says. And then I'm going to try, you can see how you go full here, and we can split it, which I like to split. And then I've got to find that deal that we had, and I'm trying to figure out where the heck it was. I can't remember. It's got to be somewhere in here. Just give me a second. I'm trying to look for the... That's going to be autopilot. There's a way you can... There it is. So bearing pointer, I'm going to start on. More options. I want wing vector. We're going to do crosswind headwind. I don't like that either. That's a synthetic view, which I like, but we're going to go speed direction. That's going to help us a lot in these mountains. Scott says, looking sharp, beautiful scenery. It's going to be... Yeah, Scott, this is really, really nice. This is really, really nice. So I'm just going to click back again, and you can see this split view. Kind of peek up, see how we're doing. 70 knots is great. You can see we're following this river, getting a little pushed. About 7,100 feet and just barely climbing, folks. Once we hit this little area, you can see I'm just going to turn the aircraft just ever so slightly, a couple degrees to the left, kind of get us over there. We got winds 161 at 4 knots, so got a nice little tailwind. And let's look at our chart here. I'll show you where we're going here. So we're gonna hit this little reservoir, if you will, and we're gonna fly this kind of cut around here. Now there's a couple ways we can do this. We could fork it. There's a fork in the road coming up right after here. We can go this way, okay? It all leads to the same spot. This way is a little difficult because we got to kind of climb through this, and the airplane is kind of sluggish right now. So what I'd like to do is just kind of stay on this track, and then we're going to hit the Salmon River, and then we'll take that Salmon River down and then over to the destination. So that's kind of what we'll do. We're going to go bear left a little bit and fly that ravine up. I mean the canyon, if you will, kind of up to the Salmon, and that's going to give us a better look at it. Okay, that's kind of what we'll do. And I'm looking, actually got a paper chart in my hand as well as a Navigraph chart. So 7,200 feet, and the temperature right now is 3 degrees. We'll put some heat on. Okay, that's the cabin heat. Take a look at our fuel status. Looks good. Again, when we get to about 20, we can switch. I mean, this is gorgeous. This is why you fly like this, folks. This is beautiful. Really, really, really pretty terrain here. It's cold right now, but not an actual cloud in the sky. I mean, that is rare. Real fun, though. Okay, so when we get this, you can see there's this reservoir we were talking about. And you can see this. I'm going to turn to the right just slightly. Ever so slightly to the right here. And you can see there's going to be a little river that runs into it, or a creek, if you will. Now we're going to clear the terrain in front of us. But we can, remember this fork I was talking about? We can go left or right. We're going to actually go to the left side. And we're going to hug this line and fly straight up to the Salmon. There is a way to get there as well through this route over to the right. The problem is when you do that, we're going to actually have to be about 9,000 feet. We're not even there yet. Now we're climbing slow. I could climb a little faster than this. So let's go ahead and just put the VS on. Let's just go ahead and bump it up to about, let's see, we're doing 200 feet a minute. We can go higher than that. We're about 300 feet a minute. Let's see what that yields us. But you can see we're kind of above this terrain. So we'll make this gentle turn to the left, and then we'll fly straight up to the Salmon. Now hopefully, I don't know, have you guys done this type of flying yet? Have you done any bush flying in the sim? And I wouldn't even call this bush flying yet. We're not even close to where we're going to be. See, that's what I was talking about, that route. It's pretty aggressive on that side. I've done this route before, and that's pretty nasty. That's a nasty route. Okay, pretty big turn coming up. We're going to go ahead and fly. Let's fly 330. Let's see how the aircraft handles that. 7,700 feet. 66 on the knots. Yep. All right, and then we're going to take this all the way up to the Salmon. So you can see we're kind of going to go right there. We'll hit the Salmon, and then we'll come over. I still don't like this. Turn 330 right there. Let's see how that does. Winds are pretty much 8 knots now, pretty much on the tail. Little quartering tailwind. Gavin, how are you? Dewan says, are you using autopilot? Yeah, I'm using the autopilot. Why not? I will not be using the autopilot when we get into the bush flying, but for right now, autopilot's on. I'm just going to relax, let the airplane do its thing. We're going to monitor it, obviously. We're going about 60 knots now. You can see that oil creeping up on us. So we're just going to have to drop the nose just slightly. All right, let's try leaning out just a little bit again. Let's see how we're doing. All right, there's 25. And you can see the cylinder head temperatures. Pretty cool right there. I like that. That's pretty neat. And we're doing okay. Now we could see, you could see over the nose, you can see how the terrain is, well, ahead of us, the terrain is right pretty much at our level right now. So you wouldn't want to, you really don't want to tangle with that. Now, these hills are bigger. And so that's kind of what you're doing. You're assessing this the entire time on what you can and can't fly over. How's that? This is bush flying at its finest. It's kind of settling in. This is the relaxing part of the flight. It gets really hectic here as we get into approach and landing. It's a lot of fun. Gavin, hope you're well. Right now, folks, it looks like 15 minutes ETA if we went straight, and that's going to be straight to it. We can't because we're just not there yet, right? We're 8,100 feet. We're going to climb to 9,000. Let's go ahead and set this thing to a 9,000 foot climb here. Let's go up to 95 if we can make it. That would be nice. Okay, there's 95. I'm going to go ahead and set the vertical speed again just to bump it up. Let's see how we do. All right. Fuel status is good on that side. Again, we're just burning from the left side right now, which is this tank. And you can see in the back of the aircraft, there's your seat. You can have your, your packs in the back like that. Really cool airplane. And it could hold 2,300 pounds. So it's even better. All right, let's take a. Has anybody done this type of flying yet in the sim? We're going to go from Salt Lake City here to Seattle. Again, we're going to be flying right up here, trying to gain some altitude. And the reason why we don't want to fly straight direct there, as I'll tell you, we zoom back out this Navigraph chart, you can see this square. That's 13,100 feet. We're not going to be there. We're not going to even be at 11.5. We're going to be at 9.5. So we have terrain that's taller than us. Now, that doesn't mean we are 100% visual. So I can look out the window. You know we can't clear this mountain. I know it. Right? So I'm looking down at my chart and I'm saying, okay, I've got between 92 and 9,700 here in this range. Our Navigraph's chart's saying 11,000 to 13. So we've got to be pretty darn careful on how we do this. I'm going to kind of take a peek over the nose here. You can see nice ahead of us. But folks, have you ever seen this kind of flying done in the sim? I want to know your opinions. Have you ever done this? Now I'm going to bump up the RPM just a little bit. Climb about 2,600 RPM on the climb here. Let's get a little more altitude. Back to the heading. Take a look. Now this is looking really nice. We're starting to climb better. And the Salmon River is approaching. I can't see it over the nose yet, but let's talk about just a couple things on this. If you look at the approach on this airplane, it's not your traditional approach. All right, it takes proficiency to do. And remember, I just started flying like this week, really getting into it. Like, all right, what do we have to do to set this thing? 3011 on the altitude now. Do we have anybody? No, we have LA Center on, but again, we're VFR. We're squawking VFR, so we don't have to talk to anybody. We're going to stay at VFR pretty much the entire flight. We got some clouds up ahead. We got to stay clear of that. The temperature outside is -1 degree, so it's cold, baby. This aircraft, how we're going to set this up in the chat, you guys, is we're going to go and we're going to fly a very high approach. And basically, we want this airplane high and almost sinking. That's how we want to land, all right? We're not going to come in low and slow. We're going to come in high and slow, almost like a floating down kind of thing. And you got to fly this aircraft on the backside of the drag curve. So we call it the curve. You want to fly it on the backside of the curve, which is not a very good place to be sometimes. It's basically power gives you usually if you throw on a Cessna, power gives you airspeed. This gives you pitch, up and down on the yoke. It's different on the backside of the power curve. You're looking at power's giving you descent rate, pitch is giving you airspeed. So it's different, all right? It's kind of reversed. You got to get normal. Now, guys, we're going to cut this a little bit. You can see how the terrain is kind of easing up for us. So let's go ahead and turn. We're heading at 030. We'll start on that course that I was talking about. That should give us we'll cut this terrain off. Like I said, it's not ahead, so let's see how that goes. The airplane should be leveling out right now, and it is taking its time. A little bit more sluggish because we're getting so high here. But you can see I'm trying to cut that off just a little bit. Give us a little more, cutting that spot. So we're kind of taking a shortcut is what we're doing. All right, 93 for 95, 9500's coming up. Oops. I can take a look out the window. It's just beautiful. Look at that, huh? Pretty country up here. I'll tell you right now, it's gorgeous. Right, now when we go ahead and level off, we'll take a look at our fuel load. We're still about a few more gallons out before we can do that. That looks great. Fuel is looking good, and that tank is looking good as well. All right, here's 9,500. So we're going to transition to cruise altitude here shortly. The nose is going to come down. We'll let the airplane accelerate before we even touch the throttle, and then we'll get our manifold pressure just right. So while it does that, I'm going to look up some of our performance data up at cruise. I got to go ahead and do that right now. Let me go ahead and do that while the airplane is doing its thing. Dewan says, this looks pretty fun. Yeah, you haven't seen anything yet, buddy. Wait till I get you guys to landing. Then you're going to go, are you kidding me right now? I'll just let you know we're at 9,400 and we're accelerating. We're going to climb about it says about 9,000 feet. So let's plan 23 to 2,400 on the RPM, and we'll pull the prop down for that. Manifold pressure is going to be pushing about 18 manifold. I don't even get there. We can, but we're going to pull that prop down here at 9,500. The airplane's accelerating. I'm going to start pulling the prop back, which is this blue right here. This is the prop. This is the pitch of the prop. And we're changing that pitch of the prop right now to about 2,400. Let's cruise it about right there. We're at 9,000, so 2,300 is going to be good for us. 16.9 on the manifold, so I'm going to bump the manifold pressure up. Give us a little more oomph. There we go. Let's try 17 on the manifold. Bump it up, bump it up, bump it up, bump it up, bump it. There we go. We got about 24. We got 17 manifold pressure. That's going to give us about 7.6 fuel per hour, gallons per hour on the burn. So that's not going to be too bad. We got plenty of gas. But again, there is no fuel at this airport. So, and I wouldn't even call it an airport. This is just a strip, okay? And you can see we're nice and high. We're above all the terrain. And now I can even cut it even more. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep cutting. So if you look, below us here is the Salmon River. That's the Salmon River. And our campsite is right about there. All right, what are you doing? Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of look. You could see maybe we can get cute and cut this off a little bit, which I'm going to try to. It looks good on this side. Again, winds. You want to take a look at your winds. We got nice tailwinds here, 10 knots. So I'm going to roll the aircraft just a little bit, probably about right to 060 here, fly over this, and then we'll start kind of having a look. I can see this cut right through here. That's not the one we want to go. Let's try 090, see if we can't get a little more cut going on. Almost direct now to our waypoint. This is a lot of fun. ET says about 9 minutes to go. And we'll be heading out there. Maybe when we land, we can do a couple of practice landings with you. We'll set up our campsite, and I'll show you kind of how that is. Getting a little bit of bumps. Now, what I really want to do is kind of look out the window here and look at my chart to see, all right, we've hit the Salmon River now. When are we going to start that turn? There's going to be a kind of a cut in the river to the right into this terrain. And I see one up here. You can see it right here, just right in front of the nose there. But if I kind of come over here and say, no, we're not there yet. We've got to kind of go. Maybe it's this one over here, but we're not there yet. So we're kind of cutting this bend. We're kind of cutting this bend off, and that's kind of what we're doing. And I might even turn a more aggressive heading of 090. Maybe that's going to take us right to that cut. So let's go 090 now. And folks, this is what flying's about. I mean, if you ask me, this low and slow stuff, we're high though. But this is kind of what flying's about, for me at least. Best kind of flying ever done was in a Piper on floats. Best, I'm telling you, it was. I got my seaplane rating, and let me tell you what, I loved it. We didn't go over 200 feet the entire time. Man, it was super fun. It was so much good. It was. I had the door open, like here. You could pop the window open and just fly with the window open. Now you wouldn't want to do that now because it's so dang cold. But in the Cub I flew, it was a J3 on floats. It was so fun. All right, now we just kind of, you can see that when I get to about 20 gallons, we're going to flip it. Especially for the descent and landing, we're going the right tank. Are you folks enjoying this? Let me know. I thought this would be a different change from the norm, which is nice. Sometimes it's nice to do it. All that coordinated rudder, huh? Yeah, it's trying to turn me. Let's go outside and see. Yeah, you see that right there? Boop, boop. A little too much rudder there. There we go. Straighten her out. Nice. I might have had to hit that rudder a little bit. Also, fuel can do that too. If you start, we're burning out of the left tank, so we could be heavier on the right. So the airplane might want to list over a little bit on the right. But let's look at keep our eyeballs out the window here, and you could see where's a nice little canyon up here. I think that's going to be ours to turn. You can see we're about roughly 12.4 nautical miles to destination. So you're probably saying, when do we start descending? Well, I do think that's going to be, we've got one coming up. This right turn here is not ours. Okay. We're going to be coming down. We'll start our descent down about right here. We'll start down. I'm not over the salmon yet. We're just kind of offset a little bit from the Salmon River. I can't even see the dang salmon right now. There it is right there out the window, Salmon River. So we're not there yet, but we'll start descending. And then when we do that, remind me, I got to flip over to the right tank. We'll go ahead and flip to the right tank, and then we'll descend. And it's going to be a nice sharp cut. I'll probably have to turn the autopilot off at that point. And we want to descend to about 3,000 feet. If we can get to 3,000 feet, we're in probably good shape. A couple of things you could do at this altitude. We could probably do a 180 and flip it in, but you're going to want to see what you're landing on, okay? So it's always a good idea, especially in bush flying like this. You want to see the strip you're landing on. Is there trees? Is there stumps? Is there something we're going to hit? Is there wildlife in the middle of the runway? All those things are going to be issues or potential issues. Now, looking out the window, folks, let me just give you a good idea of what we've got ahead of us. So you can see this cut. We're heading right toward this mountain range, straight ahead. You see how it's kind of cut? You can use the terrain. I think that's where we're going to have to turn, because that one right turn is pretty much right there. I'm looking at it. That one little right cut here in the GPS. I think that's what that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around here, fly around this little to the right a little bit, and then we'll cut in. Maybe it's slightly over here. It might not be that close. We'll check it out. We'll see. How's that? Wind is actually pushing us this way, so I'm actually going to turn a little left, excuse me, a little right, because we've got a good, about only 9 knots though. It's only about 9 knots. Yeah, SS, have you done this yet in the simulator at all? I want to know, have any of you done this in the simulator? Because this is nasty. I mean, this is downright insane once you see what we're going to do. It's crazy. But it's super fun. Like, I got so much... It's just so much fun. It's hard. It ain't easy, I'll tell you right now. I think that's our spot, folks. You see this kind of a pattern that we're going to be either going to the right or to the left. We definitely want to go to the left here, so I think this is going to be our little cut. We're going to want to start descending shortly. Remember where the wind is. It's going to start drifting. Want to push us into this side of the mountain on the left. Let's take a look at our fuel. I'm going to go ahead and actually flip over to the right tank now. Hopefully I do this the right. There we go. So we're basically now going to siphon off of this tank. And we are going to start getting into this descent here, because I want to check out our waypoint. Now, when we get into there, we're definitely going to be turning off the autopilot, okay? We have to. Okay, here we go. Vertical speed's coming in. I'm just going to start setting the vertical speed down to get us a good rate here. We're going to pull back on the RPM, on the pitch on the prop just a little bit. All right. You see, you don't want to keep flying this way, right? So we're going to have to make this turn and cut over here. And I probably can do that now. We're starting our descent into the area. Captain Denny, he says, yes, I have. Welcome aboard, by the way. Yeah, it's quite fun. It's pretty, and it's a lot of fun. It's a challenge. I think you guys are going to love this. I really do. Okay, now I know what you're saying. Jason, we're flying right to this mountain. You are correct, sir. We are. What we're going to do is kind of dogleg this thing, and I'm going to kick off the autopilot right now. All right, my plane, we're going to back off on the power. We're going to bring the RPM. I'll go manifold RPM square. We're getting into some turbulence. Okay, there's the Snake River. And I'm going to show you this because you're going to want to see that. Me struggling. Okay, this is going to be our turn. We're going to make a turn to the left here. We can start cutting it right now. We're going to square up the props. There we go. So prop and prop and throttle are squared. So we got 20 and 15 on the manifold. We're still going awfully fast. I'm going to just pull some manifold back just a little bit. Get that manifold pressure down. Let's do a descent check. Altimeter set, power, mixture, and prop are all set. Mixtures, obviously we're dropping pretty quick now. We're doing about 1,600 feet a minute. The reason why is we've got an airport here that we're going to have to check out, okay? Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. We'll center it up. We have 2 airports. This one we're flying over right now, you can't even see it. Okay, because of that issue. But you can see, holy smokes, I can take a peek. There it is. All right, that's one of them, but that's not our strip. Our strip's coming up. Was that our strip? Yep, that's our strip. See it? We're still dang high. We're looking good, though. We're going to go ahead and descend down in the camp. We have too much energy. It's below us, by the way. All right, power's coming way back. All right, RPM is coming way in now. Once the RPMs start to drop, we're going to push prop full forward. Okay, prop's full forward. I'm going to increase the mixture a little bit. And we're going to do a Chandelle. How far are we? 5,000 feet. All right, folks, hang on. See how the speed's bleeding off? Looking at your... Trying to find a good spot. I think I just passed it. It's right there. Okay, I'm good right here. So what we're going to do is going to follow this plane. We're doing good on the speed. Wind is okay. And we're using this terrain to do a 180. Power's coming in about right there, about plenty of airspeed. So we're going to use that airspeed for our advantage. Okay, let's do a power off 180. Here we go. Chandelle maneuver. Throttle to idle. Right when we get over this ravine, we're going to push the nose down.
500.
All right. Idle on the power. Here we go. On the turn, on the turn, on the turn. Turn, 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 turn. Lose altitude. Nice and easy. Okay, beautiful. All right, we're just about 72 flaps 1. Idle on the power. Now I'm going to start configuring for landing. Okay, now take a look at where we're going. All right, we're going to fly into the canyon. Oh, shoot, I have to settle down just a little bit, airplane. Let's turn this dang flight director off. That's just getting annoying. Okay. Now at 3,900 feet, I want to lose a lot of altitude. So I'm watching the wind. Okay. 2 notches of flaps coming in right now. Now I'm going to start trimming and getting this thing configured. Okay, we're at 5,400 and we're descending pretty good here, about 650 feet a minute. Nice. We're going to be slightly high. I'm going to give it a little bit of gas. About 1,300 on the RPM.
500.
Raj. That means we're 500 feet from this mountain. All right, so you can see this river bend. We're going a little dang fast. Flap, full. Now I'm sending this up a little bit on the early side. I need to lose a ton of altitude. I'm going to drop my power. All right, and we're going to follow this ravine right now. Landing lights coming on. We're going to follow this ravine. And if there's wildlife on the runway, we're going to have to go around.
500.
Okay, so they were at 500 feet. I get it. I'm going to trim, 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 trim. Let's get on the back side of this power curve. All right. We want to hold about 40, 45 knots. Yep, there's the stall warning. Here comes the power. Just push the nose over. There we go. That's good. Push the nose down. Give it a little power. I'm going to give it a little bit of power and help it. There we go, right there. Don't want to go too fast. All right, folks, there's the runway straight ahead. Okay, nice turn. Bit of power, bit of power, bit of power, bit of power, bit of power. A lot more power. All right, that's good. Nice, right there. Hold that. Looking good right there. Idle. Nose up, nose up. Okay, there we go. Full stick in the back. Full stick. Take a look. Welcome. We made it. We're going to go ahead and taxi up. Stick back. We'll go ahead and empty the aircraft and we'll go ahead and take a look around our campsite here. Welcome. This is what it's like. We're going to go ahead and Do a quick turn around here. Make sure we don't hit anything. Oh, there's a deer right there. A little buck. It's a nice buck, actually. All right, we've got an aircraft here. I'm just going to go ahead and taxi nice and light and hold the stick in the back here to give us a little more friction. Soft landing inspection? That's hilarious. You're probably right on that. All right, sorry. Let's give it a little push on the prop here, trying to get the airplane turned in. I don't want to hit this bush. You want to keep the prop away from any like bushes or anything like that. That's why tail draggers are so nice in the bush like this. Because you keep the prop away from, nicking rocks or anything like that. When you've got a tricycle gear, it makes it a little on the harder side. Okay, let's go ahead and kind of give us a nice little turn. Here, we don't want to go off of this. We don't want to hit that wing, so. And we could do differential braking. Okay, brakes up. Good, we'll keep the engine idle. We'll go and set our brake here, bring it up. We made it. Woo! That was fun. Holy smokes. Okay, what we'll do is shut the engine down. We'll go set up our camp. If you guys want to do another landing, I'll do one for you again. We'll see if we can screw it up. Because trust me, I could screw this up bad. All right. Idle, idle. Good to go. Coming off. Landing lights are off. Nav lights, strobes are off. We'll throw that off. That's going to be the autopilot trim. I got to set the trim back just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and throw standby off, and we're just cooling down the engine. Look at the eagle. Wow, you guys see the eagle right there? That's so cool. Oh, that's what's so cool about this Cub. You can see. That's cool. I don't care who you are. That's pretty sweet. All right, let's go ahead and pull the mixture to idle. Stop the prop. Keep the manifold pressure full. I'm going to go ahead and throw this. That's off. That's off. That's off. Pretty sweet stuff. All right, let's jump out of the aircraft. I'll go ahead and throw this to the off position. Right there. We're going to pop our door, and we're going to get out. So right here, the door, you would pop this handle. Let's jump out, and let's set up camp. What do you think? You guys ready for that? I'll go ahead and turn this off for you. All right, let's jump out, and we'll set up our camp. Sorry, it's kind of a weird thing when you just kind of get out of the airplane. It's kind of weird. It doesn't look like this. It's actually on the ground. But wow, it's pretty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually not do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. What in the world happened? What happened? Oh, that's not going to work, guys. What happened to my airplane? Well, that's not how it's supposed to be. I was parked. All right, let's do this. Why? And figure out what in the world just happened to us. All I did was get out. What's going on here? The airplane flew away on us. Let's see what we got. Where are we? That's the first thing we have to figure out. No, not, no. Are you kidding me right now? All right, here we go. There's the strip. Stupid thing. It didn't like what happened. I don't know. All right, let's get our airplane to where we were. Stupid. Okay, that's probably going to work for us. That's probably where we were, maybe slightly over here. All right, let's try that. Okay, good. Now, what I'm going to try to do is hit the right button. See that? Oh my gosh! It did it again. It doesn't like something. Okay. I'm not going to hit that button. So the button I just hit, I'm not going to hit. How's that? Let's give it a second to get going again. Hit Y. How are we here? What is going on? Has anybody had this problem before? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Relax, airplane. All right, you know what? I'm going to put us on the runway and hit Y. Okay. I don't know why the engine's on. It shouldn't be on. Okay. Nothing should be on. Like, I've got power off. There we go. Gosh. Could I actually move it without it doing something stupid? Okay. We're just going to keep on this view right here. This is where we were parked. About right here. Y. Okay. I'm going to stay just like this. I wanted to show you the drone mode, but apparently it doesn't like drone mode for some dumb reason, and I can't figure out why. All right. Let's talk about setting up camp and stuff. So the camp, nice camping spot. It's a beautiful camping spot. We'll go ahead and set up our tent right around here next to the airplane. How's that? So what we're going to do is we're going to open the camp out utility. You can get this utility from Parallel 42, and it's going to draw this ring around the aircraft, right? This is kind of what's going to help us out a little bit on setting our camp up. I'm going to do it right off of this wing here. This green circle is where you can set your camp. Now, I can do this and unpack my gear, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set this up. So this is, you have 300 like points essentially. Every time you do something, it's worth different points. It subtracts from this because this actually keeps your campsite for 7 days. So if we took off, flew around the pattern, came back, our campsite's still there. It's really cool. We exit the sim, come back tomorrow, our campsite is still there, which is awesome. So let's hit plus. We're going to do winter tent. And I could set this up right here, and then we could turn it in really any way we want, right? So I could set it right about here. And you can see it puts it right there, okay? So that's a pretty cool spot, and then we could kind of rotate it how we wanted to. Maybe we want it closer to the airplane. Maybe slightly, I don't want to sleep under the wing just because of fuel starts leaking on us or something like that. Condensation, again, on the tent wouldn't be good. And then we could just kind of drag it around and see. Yeah, that's not bad. That'll work. I mean, a little condensation on that side. Again, you got to think of that stuff. So let's move it out just slightly away from it, okay? I like that. That's good. Let's put a fire out there. We got to get a fire. We got. Remember, I brought an axe. We got fire. So let's go ahead and hit the plus key again. And then let's load up. Oh, let me go ahead and just set this. There we go. Sleeping bag. I remember I packed sleeping bags. We packed an outdoor grill. So let's set our sleeping bag up. We're going to go ahead and put one into the tent area and hit enter. And then we could actually push that back more. If we don't like where it's at, we can just kind of slide it like that. This thing is really cool, right? So you can see there's your sleeping bag. Then we can come back out here. Let's put a fire up. Got to get a fire pit going, folks. This is a big deal. So we're going to put our fire pit away from our aircraft. We don't want to burn it. And away from our tent. So we're going to put it right there. So again, I'm going to pitch over. You can see that. That's probably a good spot for the fire pit. I think it's perfect. You guys good with that? You can see the smoke. All right, let's go ahead and click this again. And we're going to do our camp out stove that we took. I'm going to place that right next to the fire here on this side. We click one click, and then we can rotate. And we could see how this is going to work. I really want to get into the drone mode, which I probably will. I'll just have to do it on. There we go. I'll probably, and that's so cool because you can zoom in and do a whole bunch of cool stuff. And then we're going to go to fold out chair. You could pick a color. So I like the green, kind of match the tent color maybe. Again, we're going to place it right here. One click, and then we could rotate and spin it, and that's probably not going to work for us, this spot. So I'm going to move it behind, rotate the chair a little bit, maybe kind of put it over on this side, somewhere close to that fire. That's probably a good spot. So you can see there's the front right next to that. We'll click enter. We'll hit the plus key again. Same thing. We'll do another chair. Little different color. Let's go with, I don't know, like a beige. It's pretty neat. I mean, this utility is fun. It's fun if you do this kind of flying. We'll put these two chairs next to each other. And then we'll go ahead and click the plus key again. And then we're going to go and throw our wood. We brought an axe, right? How to get wood for the fire. We'll just drop that right there. You can see. Pretty fun. Water. No camp you can do. We got a pack. We'll throw the pack out. Put the pack in front of the tent. That's a good spot. And then we're going to go into a whole bunch of stuff. You could do a lot of fun. We'll have a trash can here. You really don't have a trash can. But whatever. That's what the fire is for. We'll put that there. And then one last thing we're going to have is a jerry can. We have a jerry can for, water or whatever. I'll put that right next to our tent. And then that's it. So we could come out here and we can just do this. And then I'm going to go into here and pull out our camera. I'm going to actually hit the drone mode. And it doesn't like it. What is up with this thing? I don't know. Ryan, what's going on, buddy? I don't know what happened. Why is this doing this? Is our plane here or what? So we're going to do this a bazillion times faster. Yeah, I don't know, airplane. I don't know what you're doing. I don't have an airplane here. This is dumb. So if I go like this, yeah, we'd have to move it like 1,000 times to get it there. And I don't know why it's being so stupid, but it just is. I'm cranking it up. I'm seeing how fast we can get there. If we could do it this way, I don't even know if it's going to work, folks. Yeah, what the heck? Continue. Whatever. See? I tried. But I don't know what it's doing. Like, what are you doing? All right, let's see if we can just drop it. All right, you know what? Let me get out of this mode. I've never had this. Okay, good. We'll click continue. Stupid thing. Okay, let's go to Y, and then we're going to get it back down to where we were, if I could find it again. Stinking. Did anybody see anything? It shouldn't have done this with drone mode. Okay, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to do this. We're going to reset it. We'll go back to the main menu, reset it. We'll just put the airplane on the grass. And then you'll see how the campsite, even when you leave, it's still there, which is really neat. Ryan says, don't drop the piano. Didn't drop the piano tonight. Good job, Ryan. That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go back into this, and we will go to our airplane. We're going to go to the C-48 Wilson bar. And this is just going to be better. It's going to reset. So we'll just go to our parking spot like we were. We'll change. I want you to see night, too. This is what night looks like at our campsite. And what time is it? Okay. Do you folks want to see a takeoff and a landing again? You let me know what you want to do. We could do it. If you wanna do a quick takeoff and landing, we could do that. I don't think it's going to be as good as the first landing. That was pretty good. Pretty good for this kind of terrain, I guess you can say. All right, ready to fly. Okay, it's pretty dark. You can see how dark it is right now in the aircraft. You know, take a peek. Let's go outside. Okay, now look at our campsite. Now I'm in drone mode. It reset the right way. So look at that. Isn't that neat? Now the airplane, I'm going to try to hit Y and slide it over just a little bit. I'm scared. I'll hit Y again. All right, there we go. All right, take a look at this, folks. How cool is that? I don't know if you can hear the crickets. You hear the fire cracking. That's pretty sweet. You want to do another flight? Okay. Let's do a quick takeoff. We'll start it up. I'll change the time. We'll do a startup. We'll do a little pattern work here, if you call it. It's not really pattern work, but we're going to do a takeoff and a landing. I'm just going to crank that time. It was like 10 o'clock when we landed or something like that. Do you guys like this? It's a cool mod. So, I mean, really, really cool stuff. Let's take a look at the, with our drone mode, let's take a look at this strip. So right here we have the U.S. Forestry Service aircraft. This is a Twin Otter here. And then coming up the mountain here, up the hill, there's a buck, and these actually move. I think this wildlife moves, and this is you could buy this scenery. It comes, I think this is called Idaho Not So Deadly 3, it's called. But you can see what kind of epic pictures we can get from here. We got an active airstrip. No unauthorized vehicles beyond this point. There's a little road. You can take your off-road stuff down here. Nice, cool. We're not going to travel too far out of the way. There's an eagle up top. We were walking on this hiking trail before. I've been here already once or twice. This week, like I said, practicing and just getting used to the tail wheel and stuff like that. I kind of flew to all 3 airports just to check them out. This is one of my favorites. This is challenging, but it's not as challenging as some others. Some others are really bad. This is challenging. It's tough, especially off this cliff. When we come over this cliff, it gets very interesting, folks. Especially with all kind of, I think the worst one we landed, I can't remember, it was Marble Creek or something else like that, but I landed almost like this in an absolute canyon. It was crazy. All right, let's jump back in the the airplane. Let's do a quick takeoff, and then we'll do a takeoff really quick with you, and then we'll call it done. How's that? So let me go ahead and pull this up. I got to get the camera on, get my track IR working. There we go. All right, the fuel probably reset and everything. Yeah, that's all right. We'll leave the tanks the way they are. I just want to make sure we get the weight out of the aircraft. This is going to help us. Believe it or not, that will help us fly. 0 on that. Oh, no, sorry. 0 on that. Pilot we're going to have. And then we'll do just me. How's that? And then our fuel, we came in, who knows what I landed with. We took off with about 91, 85. We'll call it 85, 85, maybe a little bit more on this one. We had 90, so that's about right, give or take. Aviation Week, what's up? How's it going? Or Aviation Geek. Yeah, Aviation Geek, sorry. How you doing? Hopefully you're just tuning in. Where we just landed here we set up our campsite. We're actually going to take off, do a little flying, just do a takeoff and landing. Won't take too long, and then I'll let you guys want to go left side, we'll go right side, and we'll turn this thing on. Here we go. That's on. Full forward. Again, this is now a cold engine, so I'm going to have to treat this as cold. Throw that on. Fuel pump's on. That's coming up. That's pushed up. Back down our half, throw that off, priming the engine. Here we go with the starter. And it's lit. keep the power at about 1,000 RPM. Get it warmed up. It would have been warmed up after we landed. Trust me. All right, that's coming on. That's on. Going over here, landing lights we'll throw on. We'll throw them on poles. Strobe is on. We'll throw that on. Set our barometric pressure. There we go. Park brake is set, ready to go, folks. Left. Oops. Left. Right. Good to go. All right. That's it. We're going to lean it out just a little bit. I'm going to bring up the throttles here. Just leaning it back. You can see about 2,400 RPM. So, I mean 2,400. You want to make sure you're good. Okay. We're going to leave everything off. We're actually disconnected from VATSIM right now, which is fine. Let's go in and connect. Throw this. Bink. All right, here we go. Stick in the back. Now, we're not going to do a short field on this. We could. We won't on this one. We'll do a normal takeoff. This is plenty of room for this airplane. Doing good sitting here watching you on the new iPhone 15. Oh, that's awesome. How do you like it? Is the iPhone 15 fun? Is it worth it, I should say. That's what I want. I want an iPhone 15. That'd be cool. Come on, get up the hill. All right, after takeoff, we're going to climb the 3,000 feet. We'll do a chandelle, and we'll come back. All right, looks good. Pro-Chen looks good. Lights are on, ready to go. Flaps are set 1. That should be 1 notch. Oh, now it is. All right, here we go. Full power, stick in the back. Bring it up to about 2,700. Whoa, baby. 2,700 RPM. Let the nose come down. Stay on that center line there. We're about 45. Raise that nose. There we go. Bring that power back. Once we're clear of the obstacles, flaps up. Clear the trees, start to turn. Right now, we're going to climb. I'm going to trim and climb at the same time here. Pull that power back just a little bit. There we go. Climbed about 3,000, a little bit more than that in the canyon. And then we'll do a chandelle, clear power off 180, come back around. And remember that wind was coming out of the south there, about 10 knots. I got to bring that power back just a little bit. All right, about 2,600. Okay, we want to pick out our terrain here. Climb through 3,000 feet. There we go. We got the 3 peaks right here. I'm going to use this mountain to do it. Plenty of watching the prop over speed here. We're going to use this to our advantage. Okay, so we're going to come here. We're going to fly this slope about right here. Nice and good. So what we're going to do, watch your speed. Okay, you can see, well, Jason, that ain't going to make it. Yeah, I know. Okay, what I'm going to do is start rolling the aircraft right about now. Push the nose down. Power to idle. Okay, as we come in, you're pulling all sorts of G's, trying to get the airplane. You don't want to hit that mountain. Coming here, flaps 1. As we start coming down, we got to watch this mountain ahead. I'm going to start trimming the aircraft. There we go. We'll level it out. I want to get the back side of the power curve now, folks. Backside. Trim, trim, trim. Coming on the RPM just a little bit, about 12 to 1,300 RPM, flap 2. Now I'm configuring a little on the early side. About 45, and we'll watch that mountain. There we go. Perfect right there. About, was that 1,200 RPM? I'm going to bump the RPM just a little bit. Okay, we're going to run around this bend here. Flap full. And I'm going to start trimming that nose back up, push it a little bit more, about 1,500 RPM. And you see how the stall warning wants to keep, just throw the nose down. Throw the nose down. If you need altitude, just give it a little power. And that's what I'm doing here. So about 2,500. That's about good. Perfect. It's 2,000 RPMs, a little too fast. So I'm going to slow it about 1,900 to 1,800. I'm going to hug this canyon wall on the left side. I'm going to start rolling the airplane over here, getting ready for the approach. Here comes power. See how it wants to stall, push the power in, because we're going to need that power on this turn. There we go, right there. This is a blind approach. All right, there we go. We're going to pick our spot. We'll rotate the airplane in there. Cross correct. Looking great on the power. Keep the power in there. Looking good. Keep on the roll, 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 roll. Level out. Throttle back. Right rudder, right left rudder. Idle. 3-point it. All right, there we go. 3-point. Oh. All the way in the back. Prop up, prop up. Okay, there's our campsite. Okay, coming back. Again, stick in the back. Let's slow the aircraft. Now, you can slow it up. This, I haven't even touched the brakes yet, folks. This aircraft, I can show you a maximum performance landing on this airplane. And it is insane. So I'll do a maximum performance takeoff with you. Now I'm going to do a short field, okay? We're going to line it up. Okay, right here, we're going to hold. I'm going to go full on the brakes. Boom. Okay. Aviation Geek, it's good considering I was on the iPhone 11. Love the new iPhone. You can zoom to 25. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, what do you say? One more? Let's do a maximum performance. I got a bird right there. Watch that bird. We got maximum performance takeoff coming up. So flaps are going to go absolute 0. So you're going to start the takeoff with no flap. When we get the nose down, we're actually going to push forward on the stick instead of back on the stick. And then when we get that nose through, we're going to increase our airspeed. At the last second, we're going to dump all the flaps in, and then we're going to come up. All right, as soon as we can. So this is going to be fun because this is an interesting one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to bring it up, pushing the stick down, letting go. We're going to push the stick forward. We don't want to prop strike. Okay, hand on the flaps. 1, 2, 3, full lift off. Okay, now we're going to clear. You can bring that. See how that's called stall, folks. Short takeoff and landing. We just did a short takeoff, and I could even probably do a quicker one than that. Okay, we're clear of obstacles. Flaps coming up. Watch your overspeed on the prop, bringing down 2,600 flaps are up. Good climb to 3,000. Manifold pressure coming back just a little bit. Good. All right, let's pick our spot. Let's get ready for the turn, the 180. I like that mountain, just on that side. Seems like a good one, or 3,100. This will be our last one. How's that? Okay, let's ride this mountain up. We're just going to take this nice approach. You don't want to just cut a 180 right now. That wouldn't be smart. So, again, it's nice and controlled. You're not overspeeding the airplane. You're going to fly the angles. We can bail out too. We got to bail. We're going to bail. All right, let's do it. Let's roll in. Push the nose over. Throttle the idle. Little bit of rudder as we do it. Just kind of crank. The only thing we're missing is the G's. I'm going to simulate that. I'm not going to pull so hard. All right. You can see how the airspeed is not creeping up on us. That's the best part. Flaps 1. All right, and you know we're cleared on this side. Now we're going to start transitioning to the landing. All right, we got to get on the backside of the power curve, lose some altitude here. Looking good on speed. We'll drop the nose to keep that speed. About 3,300 feet. Here comes a little bit of throttle to help us stretch that glide. We're doing 43 knots, folks. I'll push the nose over a little bit.
100.
Check. Prop is full. We're good. Gear's down. It's no problem on the gear, so we have it. Okay, ready? We're going to go flap 2. The reason why I'm doing this early, I want to configure nice and early. I'm going to put a little bit of more power in there. There we go. Just to stretch our glide. I want to be a little higher than I was the last time. We were kind of slightly low, and I don't like that. Power's coming back to about, you want to hold about 1500, about 45 knots. If we could get anywhere, the power anywhere from 13 to 1500
500.
and about 45 knots. That's kind of where we want to be. All right, full flap, here we come. All right, see how the power's at 42? Just push the nose down. If we need to, let's increase some power. Push the nose down. There we go. We're going to need power on the transition here. Okay. I'm going to get a little more gas just to stretch our glide. Okay, there we go. I got the runway in sight. Okay, now we're nice and high, so I'm going to pull the power back. Okay, push the nose over, and then we're going to bump the power. I'll do a maximum performance landing here. Okay, bump the power, power in, power in, power in, power in. Okay, that's what we want to do. Don't give it back. Straight on there. That was an arrival. But you can see how quick we stopped. That was pretty vertical. Boom, you know. You're trying to arrest your descent rate the best you can with power when you do it. Sometimes it works. And that wasn't really even max performance, because what you would do is raise your flaps to slam on the brake. That was definitely an arrival. But that's what you should do. with these kind of strips like this. Yeah, I mean, we have plenty of runway here, so you don't really have to do something like that to get it in, but you really could. I mean, look at the struts on this thing. It's kind of meant for that. That's pretty fun. All right, let's go. You guys want to do one more landing, or you want me to park it? You tell me. Should we redeem ourselves after that one? One more or what? You guys tell me. One more landing. Brakes on. Stick back. Alright, before I keep rolling down the dang runway. Okay, I'm going to sit the brakes on for a minute. Super fun. This aircraft's awesome. Alright, one more. Alright, well, we got it. You talked me into it. Alright, flap 1. We'll just do a normal takeoff. Stick in the back. Here we go. Throttle coming up. Taking a peek over the top. Whoa, it's squirrely right now. Relax that back pressure. Okay, 40 knots. Just bring it up nice and smooth. There we go. Once we're clear of these obstacles, flap up. Coming back on the power. You have to go back and watch what you missed. You didn't miss much. I mean, we just took off from McCall, Idaho, and pretty much the cruise. Now, I think we could take a Kodiak in here. A Kodiak 100. I did. I sure did. That's good. You'll see it. If you guys follow the Navigraph channel, you're going to see that. So I'd say definitely look forward to that video, because it's coming. It's good stuff. 3,400. We need some airspeed. Well, the cool thing is the wind's pushing us away from this mountain, which is nice. Okay, you guys ready to go? We're 50. We're going to use this, again, this nice terrain to help us kind of follow that mountain up. Let's roll the airplane over. And then decrease the power, power to idle, push the nose down, and that's it. And we're going to go head up. Not too much. You don't want to. I'm trying to simulate that we're not going to crank it. But you can see how the speed is so stable. Look at the speed on this aircraft. So nice. All right, flap 1. I'm going to try to stretch the glide a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little more power than I did normal. And I'm going to delay flap extension on this one. So I want to be higher than I was. Okay, we're doing 2,000 now, about 53. Perfect. Now we're high as a kite. I do want to descend. Okay, we are definitely on the high side. So let's go ahead and drop it. Now, if we're high, what do? Let's crank it to idle. Use pitch now to keep that 45. Okay, flap full, because that's going to help us. That's going to help us maintain a nice stable approach. Okay, push the nose down. All right, we're going to use the pitch now for airspeed. Nice and smooth as we come down here. We're going to turn, and I could already see the runway. We are high as a kite. Flap is full. Now this is going to have to be maximum, okay, because we're a little low. So push the nose down. I want to get some airspeed back. Look at your glide. It's looking good. Boy, this is going to be nice. Now we're going to need a bump of power as we transition here. Okay, here we go. Crosswind's coming in, looking good, looking good. We have plenty of speed, plenty of energy, power. Just to give a little authority up here, hold it, idle. Come on, you rat, get on there. There's a 3-point stick in the back. Full brakes. Watch this. Done. That's how quick we landed. I mean, we landed super fast on that one. Not that bad. I mean, we could even be better. Like, we could do better than that. That's right. How we do better is just the flaps. You can just raise the flaps. But that's how approach should be. Nice and high like that. And just enough, you just need enough bump of the power to get the wind over the elevator to bump that 3-point landing. You wouldn't want to do a 2-wheel landing over here just because of the rocks and stuff. Stick in the back, stop. Okay. Okay, you guys, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that. Off, 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 off. Cool stuff. I hate to hit this. All right, it worked. Stupid thing. Okay, we're going to go to our campsite. Whoa. Hang on. There we go. Look at that. Here we are. That's it. Aviation Geek said, I love these bush flights because you can get a lot more flights in and get some pretty good views. You get a beautiful views, yeah. They have some really cool, this is the Not So Deadly 3, and there's really cool airports here. So like I flew this week, I flew up to here on C-48, then I flew up, followed the salmon pretty much all the way down, and then dropped out. We landed over here in Soldier Bar. That is nasty. You're sitting on the side of a mountain like this. That's how like the plane of that runway is like that. Big Creek Ranger Station. I don't think we landed there. We landed, it's somewhere up in the middle of, I forgot where it was. Indian Creek we didn't land at. It was big. Gosh, where the heck was it? Oh, let me look on my chart. I'll know where it was. But it's so cool. There was one to the north of us. Guys, I gotta look really quick on the actual printed chart for me. It's just, I know where it is on the chart, so. Okay, we went to... Cabin, it was Soldier Bar, Cabin Creek. So that's right next to Soldier Bar. So Cabin Creek was a challenge because Soldier Bar is right here. This is on the side of a mountain. It's wicked. You have a sandbar up here. This is the ranger station we landed at, and there's only one way in, one way out. It's uphill like this. So you're landing the airplane. You're already at a 3-point attitude, and you're zipping, and the wind is killing you down this canyon. It's rough. And then we had another one. I think it was Marble Creek. If I'm not mistaken, it was called Marble Creek or something like that. Anyway, if this is kind of flying you like to do, and I love to do this kind of flying, it's so much fun. Yeah, Marble Creek. Marble Creek is just to the south of this, so you want to follow the river here, the ravine, or the canyon, I should say, down through here, and there's going to be a little. Where the heck are you? Kind of tucked in here somewhere. I forgot. That's not Indian Creek. Indian Creek has a nice runway. Gosh, I can't find it on here, guys. But it's called Marble Creek. It's one of my favorite ones. It's a very tight, smaller strip than this, but much smaller. I think this is like maybe 1,500 to 2,000. That's like 1,200 feet or close to 1,000 feet. I forgot what it was. Let me look. Let's see what we got. We have got Marble Creek is pushing. I can't see. $1,100 feet? Maybe? Anyway, you could type it in here if you wanted to. And look at... Oh yeah, this is going to be pulling up a ton of stuff. Anyway, Marble Canyon, Marble Bar, definitely not that. But it's somewhere to the south. That's Indian Stanley. Anyway, whatever. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Remember, if you're new to the channel, this is just kind of out of the norm for us. We don't normally fly GA aircraft or anything like that, but once in a while I like to pepper it in. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button now and the like button. I practice all week to fly this, kind of get the stall, which is short takeoff landing techniques down. Did a ton of flying, lots of fun. Man, I had a good time doing that. I hope you enjoyed it, and our next flight is going to be for our patrons and our YouTube members. And I believe we're going to be flying Sunday night. We've got to fly from the MD-80. We're taking a hockey charter down to Dallas Love. And then we got to do a turn, and I think we were away again. So we got Dallas Love coming in, and then we go to Pittsburgh, and then I believe over to Philly, and then we end up at home. And I don't know where we're going to fly on Friday. So Friday streams up in the air. It's probably going to be an NHL charter, I'm sure of it. Anyway, hope to see more of this. Yeah, you know what? If there's more of you liking this video and commenting and saying you want more of this stuff, then we'll definitely do it as we have time, because this is fun. I love this kind of flying. And then maybe we can head down and do some seaplane stuff, which I am actually rated for. I do have my seaplane endorsement as well. So that's really fun to do, especially in something like an X Cub. Man, what a awesome thing that would be fun, real fun to fly. I can show you kind of some techniques on seaplane kind of flying, but this is fun. I love it, especially when you can explore the backcountry like this. So it's challenging, right? This is really challenging flying. It's very technical. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to fly in the canyons, what the winds are doing. Use the terrain for your advantage or to your advantage. Again, that high, steep approach is what you're looking for. You're not looking for a shallow, fast approach. You're looking for a nice, high, steep approach. And then control your descent with your prop, with your power. And hopefully that works out. But you can see this is a beautiful campsite. All we need is a little bit of music, and we're out of here. Good stuff. All right, folks, have a great weekend and have a great rest of the week. Until next time, keep the blue side up and the brown side down. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, hit that subscribe and like. We'll see you guys. The camera isn't clear. My camera? Oh. Let's see if that worked. That's a bummer. Well, Shelton, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's not clear. It should be. I'm kind of off, huh? Now, let's see if I could get it to work. That might do it. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and camp out and try to stay warm and eat dinner. We'll see you guys in a bit. Have a good one. Let me get this going.